Hello, welcome back to the garden. Today I'm just up here in my forest garden. It's been about 9 months since I've updated you on this so far year-long journey into creating a allotment or a vegetable garden at home. In my last video I mentioned that I've given up my allotment now, and that mainly is so that I can focus on this area of my garden. It's at home, I don't need to travel, it gets full sun every day. Well, when the sun is out, it gets full sun, and it's such a lovely part of the garden. Now, it's almost a year since I gave you the first installment of this journey. It was a video where I showed you what it looked like at the start. Nothing had been done, and I had some arborists that were going to be coming over to the garden, having a look at the trees and you know, telling me which ones needed to go and which ones could stay, basically. And then after that, I gave you another installment in the April where I showed you kind of the clearance had happened, the trees had gone, and we measured how big this area was. And since then, I've not shown you anything up here, and I've not actually done very much up here in terms of kind of, you know, landscaping or anything like that. But you may be able to see behind me that we've got some ton bags. They are all full of brambles. I've got 5 just here, but I've got another 3 down there. So although I've not actually worked on creating the garden, we've done a lot more clearance out here. So I thought today I would show you and update you on what needed to be done and what my plans for the garden are. But before I show you what it looks like now, I will take you back to January and then the April so you can see kind of the progress so far. And if you want to see more of both of those videos, then I will link them above as they come on, but also down below in the description. So you enjoy that, and then I will catch up with you over in the forest garden. We're just at the start of it now, and I just really wanted to show you this. You know, I really have never filmed it before, and I think it's a really good idea to, you know, keep a record as we go, just so you kind of know where I am. I'll turn the camera around and show you now the kind of what I can see there. We've got our little play area for the children, and my polytunnel is behind it, so I don't know, it's about 30 meters away or something like that. So one of the things that we didn't really take into consideration when we took on this woodland was it actually needed management. And when you say management, we just kind of thought maybe, you know, a little bit of a chainsaw here or there. And that's what the previous owners did. So we've got a tree here that's actually quite big. They've just chopped it and dropped it, really. There's a big log here and a big log there, which is amazing for wildlife. I'm sure there's loads of wildlife in here that are really happy. But all of the trees here have been allowed to grow, you know, as tall as they want to grow. But because we're in quite a condensed area, that means that we've got 30-meter trees, and they are really kind of long and spindly, and some of them potentially have ash dieback, which is something that I know about and something that I would like to say I could recognise, but actually I don't really know. So I'm really looking forward to kind of getting the results of that on Wednesday. I'm not really looking forward to seeing how much work needs to be done, because having an expert in is going to be quite expensive. But yeah, I'm so excited. But I'll take you round to kind of the back bit there on my boundary, and I'll show you that so you can have a look and see how much work needs to be done, but kind of what my plans are there. So here I've got this tree trunk, and I think this tree trunk is the one that belonged to the logs that are on the floor there. And I think this is an oak tree, but I'm not sure. But as you can see, it has sprouted loads and looks really, really messy. So I don't know what we're going to do with this, but also it is covered in ivy. So that ivy needs to be sorted. And just to get some perspective in this area, this was completely covered in brambles a few days ago, to be honest. So everywhere that you can see that's kind of got fresh brown mud is where brambles were. All we've done is actually just snip those brambles off. So if we don't do anything, they will just come back, and you know, nature absolutely loves using brambles to rewild areas. So you'll see in a second what it looked like before when we go over to the boundary there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this tree trunk. I think this stump is an oak, but it's not dead. You can see it's got these sprouts coming off of it. But yeah, who knows what we're going to do with that one. So we're stood with the oak tree behind us, and that kind of dying, rotten tree there, which I don't know what type of tree it is, but again covered in ivy, as you can see. Where you are stood is the boundary of the land, but behind that is farmland. It's all planted up with ash and things like that, and that just belongs to a farmer. And then if we go this way, that is the boundary where the shed is. And here we are on the boundary between my garden and the garden next door. What they've done is they put a lovely fence up at the very back, and they've also put another fence to their garden down there. So the whole area behind me has obviously never had a fence because they've not really needed to do that, but they've used the area behind on their garden to like store all of their bits and pieces and things they don't really need. So because of that, it doesn't look very nice. And ever since we've moved here, I've always thought that I really wanted to have a boundary wall here, just so I could feel a little bit more kind of secure in my own garden, and it looks a bit tidier. And also in the woodland area, you can always see that white wall behind, or the garage door or whatever. So I think it'd be really nice all the way along here to have a living fence. You probably can't see here actually, but this land is so boggy. My foot is almost completely down in the ground here, so it's going to need quite a lot of work if I want to actually get it ready to lay a hedge and get this area a little bit drier. We're on a slightly different angle now. Behind me there you can see the gate that goes through into my neighbour's garden and their shed there, but I'm not sure if you can make out there is a wooden fence behind, and that is the boundary to my other neighbour. As you can see, it's a really lovely fence, but I really want to put a hedge there too. So what I might try and do is actually see if I can get a little bit higher up there and actually do an overview and kind of an aerial shot of the whole area. So as you can see, this is a pretty sizable area of brambles that needs to be sorted out. This is the other neighbour's fence that I was talking about. So this is the next door neighbour of the boundary there, and pretty sizable solid fence by the looks of it, but I'm also hoping on having the hedge along here. We're going to have a variety of different trees in the hedge, and hopefully, as well as beneficial ones for wildlife, I'll also be getting ones that maybe will produce fruit that we can also have as well. And hopefully you can see there has been a massive difference in the garden. So when I left the video there back in January, I explained that I was going to be getting a tree surgeon out to have a look at the trees. I knew the oak tree that had fallen over needed to be cut down. There was a dead tree behind it, and I just, you know, didn't really know what it was like underneath all of that, apart from it was really boggy and it was very overgrown and shady. So the tree surgeons came out and they explained that obviously what I thought already, those trees needed to come down, but there was also a tree that was overhanging from the boundary line that was also intertwined with those trees. So fast forward a month or so after that, they came out and they did their thing, and they have left behind all of this wood that you can see behind me. Since then, I've been very busy focusing on other areas that they worked on and doing things up there. So this is very much just the second stage on from that first video I did. If you've not seen the first video I did where I showed you all of the different areas and what it looked like, I'll put a link above in the description now so you can have a look. But the main thing that I'm really excited to do today is I have a tape measure with me, and we are going to measure the actual area because I have no idea how big it is. But one thing that is really exciting about this area, there's a lot of work to be done, as you'll see in a minute, but it gets full sun throughout the day, which means this is going to be a perfect area that I can actually grow produce to eat, and it's right in my back garden. So let's go and have a look and see how big it is. Again, I hope you can see me okay from this angle. I've put the camera up there because I'm hoping that it gets a pretty good view of this area here. As you can see, the ground is very rough. There are a lot of twigs and things all around the place. Just by the stump there, that apple tree stump, there is a really boggy area. Now, I've worked out that there is a spring that is coming through a wall over there. So I'm going to have to work out how I'm going to divert that a little bit, because it naturally kind of runs in a kind of S shape down here at the moment. So if I can landscape it slightly, make some ditches so it comes around, you know, in a little bit of a neater line, that means that this area will dry out. But how exciting is this? Honestly, sometimes I don't realise how lucky I am to be living in a place where I have a garden like this. I mean, I haven't even been up here for about 5 years, really, or 4 years since we'd moved here. And pretty much instantly, I have this amazing usable space. But sorry, I'm going on now. Let's get this tape measure out and work out how big this area is. I hope that you can see the very edge here in the video, which is the base of the fallen oak tree. Sorry if I'm off camera, but this is pretty much going to be the boundary line of the area that I'm going to be creating this garden in. So I'm just going to get the tape measure out now and just very roughly measure this area. And as you can see, you know, it's a little bit rough, you know, it goes higher up here and lower down here, but it's going to look amazing when I've done it. I'm just going to do this roughly because I've got this set to 2 meters. So I could probably work it out from the fence panels as well, but I'm not sure. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so let's call this 9 meters, 9.5 meters. And then let's go the other way. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and all the way up here is about 12. So 9.5 by 12 meters. No idea what that is in foot. I'll work it out and then put it on the screen for you. And here's the forest garden now. It's looking a little bit sad because it's January, but you can probably notice that quite a few of the brambles have started to grow back now. So it definitely needs a lot more weeding, and when we actually cut the brambles back, we need to spend time on actually digging them out, otherwise they're just going to keep coming back year after year. Also, you can see that kind of on the ground now we're starting to get lots of weeds growing and things like that, and that's just nature. Obviously, when you clear something, nature wants to cover the soil rather than let it kind of erode with all of the weather. But before I even start thinking about how I'm going to design the garden, what I'm going to grow, things like that, there is one big issue, and that is that just behind the camera there is a spring that comes through the wall, and when we've had bad weather, or most of the time, to be honest, we've got a mountain behind, water trickles through that. So if I start over here, you can probably hear that I have a river snaking through this part of the garden where I want to grow vegetables. So before I even think about anything, I need to address the spring in the wall, okay, and I will tell you how I'm going to do that. So this tiny little hole is what is providing this river through the garden, and we have had a lot of really heavy rain recently over the last week or so. In the summer this does dry up, and it's still very boggy, but it's not a river running through. However, the vegetable garden is going to be here and I am here. So what I need to do is actually dig a drainage ditch in a straight line here that will then link up with a soakaway drain that I've got. I have about 5 or 6 houses that are behind me, and at some stage somebody must have got a digger in here and actually created this drainage ditch, which meant it didn't then flood onto everyone else's gardens. But with water it will always find the easiest route, okay? And this here is the easiest route for this water to get from the mountains behind down here. And I do have a drain that is linked up, and it kind of goes to a main storm drain down on the street, but I need to divert this so it doesn't snake around this part of the garden, and then I can get working on it really. Another task that I need to be getting on with while I'm thinking about and setting up this drainage system is to move all of these logs. This is the remainder of the big oak tree that was here. I've got a number of kind of long limbs and then loads of big rounds, and the rounds are really, really heavy. Unfortunately, they can't be used for anything really apart from firewood. So I have been kind of trying to move them bit by bit, but I've already got a really big stack of logs that I need to process and put into my kind of wood storage area. So this is a bit of a problem, to be honest, because they are so heavy and I don't have a wheelbarrow at the moment. But if I'm going to turn this into a vegetable garden, obviously I do need to move these, but also at the moment the water is kind of snaking all the way around, so they really do need to go. So I'm going to have to come up with a plan of how I am actually going to move them, because they, like I said, are really quite heavy. But also, if I move them, they need to be moved into the right kind of area, or they need to be processed into logs so they can then start seasoning. Any job in a garden like this is always going to be heavy work and take a long time, but it's just something that I am going to need to do. While I'm getting on with that drainage ditch and moving all of these logs, I'm not going to worry too much about how I'm going to plan the garden and things like that. The only thing that I do want to start thinking about is getting in some of the hedging that I want to run around the edging of this garden. I've got quite a few different trees in the woodland that I want to take cuttings from and start propagating those. So that's something I can do along the side when I've got some spare time here or there. But what I do want to do is just work on keeping these brambles at bay. In the middle of the garden I've got a few, you can probably see here, some trees that have been cut down and I keep kind of sprouting. I want to work on getting rid of those, but the rest of it, all of these annual and perennial weeds, what I think I'm going to do is just put some plastic sheeting down. Then I don't have to worry about, you know, weeding and then weeding and weeding and it kind of getting out of control again. So as much as black sheeting doesn't look very nice, it's not very environmentally friendly, it does mean that I can put it down and not worry about redoing the work. You know, probably clearing this hour took about 20 man hours, and if I just leave it, it's going to come back again and that time is going to be wasted. So yeah, it's going to be covered for now. I'm really hoping that we will get some crops in the summer, okay? But there is such an awful lot of work to be done up here that I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So I'm not going to give myself a target because I think that's not always the best of ideas. So there you go, that is what my forest garden looks like at the moment. I really hope you've enjoyed watching the latest update. If you haven't watched the full videos from before, I'll make sure that I put them down below in the description. If you have any hints or tips on how I can make a drainage ditch, how I can create this garden, do let me know because I'm really interested to hear. And thank you so much for watching today. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube have some videos up now on the screen that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye.